Oh yeah? Plague monks. Where should I start? These vile creatures have fully accepted the painful gift of their horned deity. They infect themselves with diseases, drawing strength from them and acquiring a certain immunity. They are so used to pain and discomfort that they almost don't feel anything anymore. They are driven only by rage and fanaticism, akin to true believers. The Pestilence Clan is perhaps the only one of the 4 largest Skaven clans that is feared, first of all, by the Ratmen themselves. This fear is justified because those diseases that the members of this clan have nurtured, mastered and released into this world are deadly. In addition, this clan was the sole instigator and active participant in both Skaven civil wars. As a result, a sharp reduction in the population of tailed inhabitants under the Empire and the almost successful overthrow of the Council of 13. The members of this clan, in essence, are all plague monks. In order to glorify the horned rat, they themselves must become the embodiment of the title of their deity, the harbinger of the disease. Unlike his cunning and treacherous brethren, who are ready to do anything for economic gain, Pestilence supplies his fanatical warriors only for the sake of realizing the great goal of his clan. Their current leader, Lord Nerdlich VII, for the period of the end of time, the Archplague Lord of the Pestilence Clan, took a very significant place in the Council of 13, which seriously affected the behavior of the entire society of ratmen. The very first plague monks of the Pestilence Clan appeared in the rainforests of Lustria many centuries ago. Their relations with the Underground Empire did not develop very well, endless military confrontation, intrigues and power sharing. But after a while, an agreement was reached, and the Pestilence Clan took its rightful place among the major clans of the Underground Empire. Mired in infection and disease, the Skaven of the Pestilence Clan were fanatical and devout worshippers of the horned rat. If we analyze their numerical composition, it will become obvious that the plague monks make up the main and significant part of the military power. Military specialization is meant here. Their bodies are eaten away by diseases and plague. They are so used to constant severe pain that they have practically lost their sensitivity. Combined with religious fanaticism, monks become a very serious force on the battlefield, especially if there are many of them, although this applies to almost all Skaven units. The plague monks believe that the rest of their relatives were deceived by the Grey Seers. After all, the true face of the horned rat is the plague. The main goal of the clan is to attract all the other inhabitants of the Rat Empire to its ranks, avoiding accusations of heresy from the Seers and the Council. Truce and cajoling the Grey Seers is the only way to succeed. Over time, when the Pestilence Clan grows, and the rest will be subdued, the Seers will follow their example. They will submit and die. Like the Grey Seers, the Plague Monks believe that the time of the Great Exaltation is approaching. The peculiarity of the mythology of Pestilence is that the Horned Rat will ensure victory only if most of the Underground Empire converts to the true faith. Pestilence also serves the Lords of Decay, destroying enemies with a freshly prepared plague, like which the old world has not yet seen. The Council gladly accepts the help of Pestilence in battle, because diseases are a powerful weapon against any person. The Plague Lords are not only able to create a new plague, but also easily cure a number of diseases of the Skaven themselves. Although, from the point of view of the clan members themselves, healing is blasphemy, but now is not the time for such revelations. After all, the favor of the Council is very important. The plague of the clan is insidious, neither weapons nor armor will save you from it. When spreading, the monks are completely safe, but the enemy himself also helps in spreading and also provides a breeding ground for another plague in the form of unsanitary conditions and poor hygiene in most cities of the old world. As an added bonus, diseases do not destroy buildings, equipment, and other military trophies. As soon as the plague spreads and begins to act, the monks themselves gradually begin to slide into madness, which helps a lot with the capture. Crowds of monks are led into battle by special Skaven armed with plague incense burners. The Skaven of the Pestilence Clan believe that their enemies will either die of illness themselves, or lose the will to win or to live, seeing their relatives die. Even if the victims survive the physical and mental torments brought by the plague, they will be so weak in spirit and body that they will easily fall before the hordes of parasites. One of the methods of spreading the disease is the use of specially bred small rats. They are infected, and then released into the sewers and into the alleys of the cities of the old world. Rodents are a common occurrence in any settlement, and plague rats of the Pestilence Clan at first glance are no different from ordinary street parasites. They make their way into houses and storerooms, leaving behind sick droppings and half-eaten food. Another tactic that Pestilence uses to spread diseases is to use prisoners. These unfortunate people are infected with the plague, the symptoms of which are not clearly visible, and the course of the disease itself is artificially underestimated. When prisoners return to their families, they become unwitting exterminators of their own kind. Plague monks are the most common clan warriors. These groups of fanatics devote themselves entirely to spreading corruption in the ranks of the enemy. Entering into battle, these monks chant various curses from the Book of Despair, endlessly repeating the Liturgus Infectus, or the Rite of Infection. Approaching the enemy, the monks go into a frenzy, attacking the enemy, armed with rusty swords and poles with iron tips, infecting those who are wounded. Due to their characteristics, plague monks are able to survive injuries that usually destroy ordinary Skaven. Plague Censors. A plague censer is a hollow metal ball with spikes attached to a long chain that is used as a weapon. Inside the hollow ball there is a mixture of warpstone and violet once, emitting a greenish cloud, from which the flesh is covered with ulcers and fluid-filled blisters. When inhaling vapors, the lungs fill with liquid. The censors are fanatical in battle. They stand until the end, until the last of them is destroyed. Plague Catapult. For many years, scientists of the Pestilence Clan have been working day and night to create the most perfect disease that will rid the world of all inhabitants of the surface, and eventually conquer the Skaven themselves. The infection itself has not yet been created, but the byproduct turned out to be a valuable military acquisition. All this waste in the cooking process began to be used as ammunition for the catapult Plague Claw. The Plague Furnace is a disease-stricken altar of the Great Horned Rat and an unholy symbol of the clan's power. The furnace is pushed into battle by plague-singing monks. The creaking of wheels and the trampling of paws shod in iron shoes interrupts the sound of spells. This altar is made deadly by a massive ball attached to the top of the structure, similar to a brazier, which in appearance resembles a weapon used by censors. This ball swings back and forth, releasing a cloud of poisonous gas that hits the enemy. In a direct collision with the enemy, the rusty chains holding the huge ball furnace made of warpstone are released, and the huge censer lands right in the center of the enemy formation. These are such funny guys who are ready to destroy not only all people, but also their relatives. Religious fanatics from the Skaven faction. Just cuties.